Alright everybody, welcome back. It's short intermission again, but we're here with the Bard's Tale Remastered. Tales of the Unknown any percent Legacy Mode by organMike. Take it away.
Thank you very much. I'm going to start, first of all, by asking chat to think of some names. I'm going to need 6 names for characters. Three rogues, a bard, and 2 spellcasters. So if chat wants to wake up and give you some names, that'd be great. So that's the first thing on the list. I'm only starting with that because I know there's a stream delay. But before I start playing again, I'd like to acknowledge that where I live, where I stand, where I work, and where I play is Treaty 1 territory, the traditional homeland of the Anishinaabe, Anianninewak, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and the heart of the Métis Nation, and of the Red River Métis Nation, and I want to acknowledge with respect and reverence their care of the land, and hope that my actions contribute to reconciliation with them in some small way. So, beyond that, The Bard's Tale is a lovely old RPG that comes from the same era as the Ultima series that I started with, and this one I believe is 1983 originally. This was created as 2018 remaster. The original programmer was actually involved with this remaster. This was a promotional release promoting The Bard's Tale 4. So this is the first 3 games of the series that were then put together. Sorry, my cat is making noise. That were then put together into one big trilogy. Graphics were updated, and then they released Legacy Mode, which is what I'm going to be using. So let's get this thing going. New game, Volume 1. So I can play any of the 3 games, but I'm going to take Volume 1, because that's what was requested. We're going to select Legacy Mode. And now, I would normally pick full Legacy Mode, but this is a marathon, so we're going to uncheck 2 of these options. Save at Guild only, so we can save anywhere, and Auto Map disabled, so you guys can see what's going on. Otherwise, I'm moving around a lot with not a lot to show for it. But yeah, individual inventory. Each one of the characters is going to be carrying their own backpack with their own stuff. We don't have a communal party inventory. Miscellaneous game differences. When they remastered the games, put them together, they combined a lot of the things, so you get a lot of things like spells that were only available in the second and third game were in the first game. That makes a lot of difference in the speedrun because we can summon creatures that weren't meant to be in the first game into the first game. Things like that. Game-specific songs. That's, again, your bard's songs or spells for your bards. They're not particularly relevant to this. But yes, we have specific songs that are only available in the first Bard's Tale game in this one, as opposed to if we had that unchecked in the third game, we could still be using first game songs. Use unequipped items. It's a glitch in some of the earlier versions, where you could use an item that wasn't equipped, but that you were carrying. Hi, Joy. No items in empty houses, not going to worry about that. And full experience requirements. So, yeah, experience curves in this game are a little wild. So, but in order to compensate, when they did the remaster, they halved the experience requirements. But in order to compensate for that, they only allowed you to do certain big fights once. So I can do certain fights more than once, which will be happening. Anyway, let's start this thing. And we don't start the timer just yet, by the way. So again, chat, please be thinking of names. Nice little tip. And I like to get dramatic. The song I sing will tell the tale of a cold and wintry day. When evil fled and brave men bled, the Dark One came to stay. Of castle walls and torchlit halls, and a price men had to pay. Price we had to pay, really. In the original, you couldn't actually pick female characters. All your characters assume male. Till men of old for blood and gold had rescued Scarabray. Alright, we got some names. Anyone? I know chat's working. Volume 1, Tales of the Unknown. Long ago in the land of Caith, where magic still prevailed, the evil wizard Mangar the Dark threatened a small but harmonious town called Scarabray. Overnight, all the town's militiamen disappeared, and Mangar froze the surrounding countryside with a spell of eternal winter, totally isolating it from any possible help. as evil creatures oozed into the sewers to join Mangar's shadow crusade. The future of Skara hung in the balance, and who was left to resist? Only a handful of unproven young warriors, some junior magic users, a couple of bards barely old enough to drink, and a few out-of-work rogues. You are the leader of this ragtag group of freedom fighters. Luckily, you have a bard with you to sing your glories. If you survive, for this is the stuff of legends, and thus the story begins. We have one name. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to create a party. Oh, actually, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to delete the pre-made party. We're going to create a party. We have a name suggestion for Fridge. All right, we will take a female dwarf bard named Fridge. Dwarf bard. Looking for 17 constitution. There we go. Fridge. So be it. Any other names? Otherwise, I'm just going to start assigning some. We will take a male hobbit rogue by the name of Stabby. Once we get there. Dexterity 15. Oh, 18, please. Excellent. The rogues are going to be vitally important for this particular run. Stanley. Another male hobbit rogue. 18 hit points is low. Dexterity of 18 is a must. There we go, we'll take that one. This is Stanley. Create a female hobbit rogue. Got Stabby and Stanley. Trying to think of names is hard. Yeah, well, I've got to think of 6 of them if you don't think of any. Come on. I don't know. Stabby, Stanley. Shadow. It's a good rogue name. Alright, and it's going to be important. Alright, we need a female gnome this time. Magician. Looking for 17 intelligence because you cannot roll an 18. Game looks like it's rolling 3d6. In fact, it is rolling 1d8 and adding a bonus. That will be fine. This is Blaze. And we will summon up a male gnome conjurer. Same deal, 17 intelligence. Knuckles. Knuckles the conjurer. There we go. Alright. Time will begin when the moment I do something functionally relevant to the game, which in this case means removing Fridge from the party. So we're going to put Fridge, Blaze, and Knuckles back in the Adventurers Guild. They're going to wait there for later. They'll be important. Don't worry. Alright, so in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright, we enter the city. Now, this gives me a chance to do some vandalism. We attack a statue. So you can see what we can do with rogues. They can hide in the shadows. And this is the Thieves' Temple. They heal any rogue for free. Hiding in the shadows means that the rogue is no longer on the battle line. It means that they cannot actually be targeted by enemies in any way, shape, or form. This is to great advantage. But because of the way the game mechanics work, it also means they still block attacks. Enemies cannot attack to the back row, even if all the rogues are hidden in shadows. So we're going to break some statues. And don't forget, that Thieves' Temple will heal everyone of these thieves for free. So we're not too worried about what's going on here. This is the first grind. We go, in this game, like with many RPG speedruns, we go from grind to grind to grind. So, okay. Alas, your party has expired and gone to adventurer heaven. Sorry, bud. That's okay. We're just going to add Fridge to the party for a sec. And Fridge will drag them back here. No nice requiem. Which, of course, means grant them rest. Which is exactly the opposite of what you're doing, right? Normally I save scum this for marathons. But, you know, we'll just let it ride. We'll let it ride. Don't need to save scum. Speak to this priest. We exit and re-enter. And because we are playing in legacy mode with the experience requirements thereof, we have regenerated the statues. If we were not playing in legacy mode, the statues would be permanently gone. And there are only 10 of them. You notice that little yellow arrow beside Shadow and Stanley's names? I forgot, that's actually slower than going this way. That little yellow arrow means that they are ready to level up. Wow, none of them hit their roll. Don't miss your rolls, guys. Come on, Rogue Squad. The other thing about hiding in the shadows is that when you leave the shadows to attack, you get a critical hit. Critical hits in this game are instant kills. Come on. I mean, I'm not worried about them dying. That's not actually an issue. It's just annoying when they don't hit their hide rolls. So yeah, critical hit. There's a whole class of warrior called Hunter. There's a whole Hunter class based around critical hits. They get a critical hit ability. They do a ton of... They don't do any... Well, actually, I said they do a ton of damage. They actually do very little damage. They're a fighter that doesn't actually have a high attack stat. What they do have is that critical hit skill. Back into the city. Here. Now we come over here to the review board, because someone's got to tell you that you gained a level. Thank you. Stabby. 79% chance, or 79 hide and shadow score already. When we're in the city, the hide and shadow skill is at its easiest. Oh, I must have mistyped. Ah, that's fine. Then we just look around for the stairs and walk right back out. So hide and shadow skill has, I think it's whatever your hide and shadow skill is plus 30% in the city. And as you go down in the dungeons and go further in the game, that bonus goes lower and lower until it's actually a penalty. So we want it as high as possible because we are going to be using that hiding in shadows a lot. Oops. Attack, hide, attack. Thank you. So yeah, we go from grind to grind. Once we can be reliably certain that these guys are going to hide in the shadows pretty well, we're going to grab Blaze. And get her up to... Oh, get her up to 10,000 points. And then we can stop killing statues. Once we have a magician or conjurer at 10,000 experience points. So the only sounds you hear in this game, other than those, other than the little trumpet call when you start a fight, and the similar trumpet call when you run away from one, the only sounds you hear in the game are diegetic. That means they're sounds that are made by stuff in the game, which is actually kind of neat, I think. So if you're hearing music, it's because someone nearby is playing music. I think that's pretty fun. And when we have a bard around, you will hear music because bard songs are magical, and they do magical things that we want them to be doing. Now we come over here, Oh, hello, a hobgoblin decided to join me. How nice of him. Okay. Normally I save scum these. I want those numbers for hide and shadows to be real high. High as I can get it. I mean, I could save scum it more. But, you know, you didn't click onto this to watch me save and load. I needed to go to the temple. I forgot to do that. You didn't click on this to watch me save and load outside the review board. You came in here to watch me break the same statues over and over again. Trundly, trundly, trundle. Right around here. On Fargoer Street. There goes. There he goes. Nice of him to join us for a fight. Sometimes random encounters will work out that way, that someone wants to join you. You notice my character roster starts with an S and then goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6 are characters that we created. The S is for special characters, Those are characters either that we summoned or that joined us on the fight. Shadow, you're not living up to your 73% there. So that first spot is only accessible for special characters, and it's the only special character slot that we can have. If we had turned off the differences between games, we could have a 7-character party, or we could have a 1-character party with 6 summoned characters. And that also plays into the non-legacy mode run, the run I call modern. Oh my goodness, guys. Don't miss your rolls. Okay, Stabby's already at 95%. This is a D&D based system. There's a 5% chance for anything to go wrong, and the gods are petty and filled with bad ideas. So the best chance you can get... I'll run away from 2 minutes. The best odds of hide and shadows, as good as it gets, is 95%. 1 in 20 chances failure. That is, unless you have some piece of equipment that boosts your chance of hide and shadows. I would really like some of that, but unfortunately, that's also very late game stuff. In this game, it's only a thief dagger that we can get, and we can only get that basically in the last dungeon. But it is really nice to have a 100% chance to hide in shadows. How are we doing? 43? Yeah, actual 95. Okay, come on, Stanley and Shadow. We need to get you guys up there. Yeah, level 4, level 6. I want basically level 8 on all of them before we bring the spellcaster in. The way the game works in terms of combat, only the first 3 characters in the party, plus the special character, are allowed to participate in melee combat, whether that's to attack or to be attacked, hand to hand. So characters in slots 4, 5, and 6 don't have the attack option, and enemies don't have the option to directly attack them either. They have to use spells or breath weapons or gazes or other things like that. My goodness. Guys. You're making me look bad. There we go. So I'm actually going to save Scum a good roll for Shadow's next level. Hey, this is Scarabray. Down in that corner where we just left is Mangar's tower. We're going to need to go in there and beat him up later. Okay, we're not going to fight the rest because I'm trying to get Shadows up there. Behind that gate that we've gone through a few times with the dragon in front of it, that's Baron Harkon's domain, and over here is Kiliaran's Amber Tower. We can't go through those gates. Yeah, I'm going the right way. Heal the party. Turn the wrong way. Oh, sure, that one you mean. Through that gate down there is the Scarlet Bard. We'll be going there later. That's actually where the first dungeon is, but we don't need to go in the first dungeon really for anytime soon. There we are. That's fine. I'll take 8. We'll be going in the first dungeon right at the very end of the run. The first dungeon doesn't have statues to beat up, so, like, why would we ever go there? But the first dungeon gives you the password that I've been using to get into the second dungeon there, the Catacombs, to regenerate all the statues. It's also got a very large staircase that gets you past some of the locked gates into Mangar's tower. There we go. That's more like it. Everyone hides. There, it was Stabby this time that didn't make it into the shadows. Told you, 5% chance for anything to go wrong, and the gods are vindictive and filled with bad ideas. They're actually starting to get some decent hit points on them, too. There we go. One of the other things I thought of as a possibility for the run is instead of using hobbits and going for 18 agility, or 18 dexterity, using half-orcs and going for 18 constitution, which would mean they get better hit points at level. But with a lower dexterity, they would get a lower bonus for hide and shadows and disarm traps, which would mean I would then have to turn around and actually save Scum those again. Oh, Stabby. Oh, pardon me. I guess I'm allergic to seeing Stabby get beat up. Oops. If I bring up that menu, if that menu ever pops up, usually I've made a mistake. Stabby doesn't have a level, so I can go claim my level before I go to the temple. Thank you. Yes, yes, there we go. Okay, that's going to be high enough. Then don't go the wrong way. There we go. Boom. Add fridge. No, not fridge. No. I'm not adding fridge. I'm adding blaze. Remove fridge. Don't need fridge. I mean, we will need fridge. Reorganize the party. Now the amount of experience we're getting is going to be reduced still further because we've got a fourth party member with us. We need 10,000 points. That's the number we're looking for. I missed the turnoff. I'm in Grand Plaza. The question mark lets you look around to see where you are, or see what's going on in the dungeon, which, even if it's dark, will tell you what's on your square. Of course, a lot of dungeon features you don't actually see on the map before you get there. Stabby. Yeah, sure, a gnome can stand around and take the first hit. That's fine. There it goes. The other thing this game does with its special slot when you're doing it in this mode, the special slot clears when the either when another creature joins you or when the current creature dies. Wow, guys. In later games, or if you're using modern mode, special creatures don't disappear when they're killed. They just clog up your party. There's actually a command in battle to kick out special creatures. I mean, you can do it out of battle, too. Wow. That was really unfortunate. Alright. We can't go fight the dragon anyway. We're actually going to have to spend money on this now, so we'll have to pool our money together. Everyone's got their own cash. Raising the dead costs a lot of money. As you might expect from, like, literally raising the dead. Which is why we make use of the Thieves' Temple. Alright, Blaze, level up. Only one. Back up we go. That's okay. It should, assuming all goes well, and I don't miss 19 out of 20 chances all the time, assuming all goes well, it's really only 2 more tours of the statues that we need to do. Now, we can't take the dragon on anymore because the dragon's breath weapon will kill Blaze from the back row. Any other retro RPG fans out there? Come on, guys. Thieves are not supposed to stand around in the sunlight and get hit. I want those critical hits, that's right. So once we hit 10,000 experience points, there's 4 kinds of spellcaster in the game. Magician and Conjurer are what you can start as. You can also get up to Sorcerer and Wizard. Roughly speaking, in terms of power, they go Conjurer, Magician, Sorcerer, Wizard, from weakest to strongest. What do we got? 8,000, okay. That's a very rough estimate. They all have different focuses and abilities. Conjurers make stuff appear out of thin air, so they're the ones who do a lot of summoning. They create light. They create other things. make magical effects appear, things like that. Magicians enchant items, so they instead of making a flame appear, a magician will instead cause everything that's metal to glow. Cool. There we go. So we just bought second level spells. And the way that works, every odd level up to level 13, you get a new level of spells. So for level 1, you have first level spells. Level 3, you have second level spells, and so on. Up to 7th level spells at level 13. Once you have the 3rd level in any spellcasting class, you can change your character's class. That is what we will be doing with Blaze, because we want to get to Wizard as fast as we can, and we need to have 2 spellcasting classes at level 3 minimum before we can turn to Wizard. So as soon as Blaze has a level up, we're going to head over to the review board as soon as Blaze levels up, and we're going to switch to Conjurer, and then we're going to stop breaking statues. Well, stop breaking statues to grind. We'll have to break some more later. There we are. The game also has a day-night cycle. You might notice it's actually starting to get dark. Spell acquiring. There we go. Class change to Conjurer. Alright, now we head into the catacombs. Speak to the priest and say, Tarjan. Did I pick up a light source? No. Okay, we'll cast one just so we can see what we're doing. Mage Flame. There's a little light. This is the catacombs. It's a little bit scully in here. 9 whites. Hide, hide, hide. And we're going to cast Star Flare. Did I forget to save? I forgot to save. No, I didn't forget to save. Good. Don't defend. Hide, hide, hide. Cast Star Flare. This is where I can save scum. We're not having to save only at the Adventurers Guild. Shadow, why are you missing that? We're not having to save only at the Adventurers Guild is to my advantage. There we are. And we use Trap Zap to open the chest. And that was worth 2,000 experience for everyone. We head over here. Blaze got a level up from that, so we will take it. If you were watching close, or if you're watching close now, you'll see occasionally Blaze's name will flash blue. And they will gain a magic point when that happens. Standing out in the sun is one way to recover magic points. That guy there is Roscoe. He sells magic points. That's another way to regain magic points. You can't miss, guys. You can't miss those rolls. I'm getting real bad luck on my hide chances. There we are. Now, the reason we open treasure chests and we use a spell to do it because opening it by hand can be dangerous. But the reason we open it because we're also looking for some special items that come out of the treasure chests. The items you get from a treasure chest are determined entirely by where you are in the game. So we can find some very useful items on the first floor of the catacombs. Specifically, I'd be looking for a bard sword and a fire horn. Things that make our bard much more potent. Mithril dagger, cells, I guess. Here we go. This should about do it. 3. Cast Star Flare. Stab, stab, stab. Okay, Stabby got hit and is now old. But we're going to break another statue just to wrap up. What old is... no, we'll go back in here. What old is means... the status is withered. Some undead do it to you. It means they're, well, old. It doesn't actually affect their hide and shadow chance, but it changes all their stats to 1. So I can't actually level up Stabby Well, they're old. Well, I mean, I can, but I'm going to get terrible stats. That's the biggest effect it has on the run. Also, it's 3,000 gold to fix them. So we'll go over... This is why I go over to the Thieves' Temple. There's the second level, and Blaze is now a wizard. Fantastic. All right. Now, finally, we will be grabbing our full party. Full party, thank you. Here to the Withering. Add Fridge the Bard, Knuckles the Conjurer. And away we go. New order, put Fridge immediately behind. This is Roscoe, or this is not Roscoe, this is Garth's Equipment Emporium. We can sell stuff here. Blaze, pick up anything? We can buy stuff there too, but why? Oh, I'll tell you why we need to buy something. We need to buy a harp. The actual instrument doesn't matter, but a bard can't sing a song without an instrument, and we want our bard singing. It's getting dark. This is perfectly normal. What am I doing? I need to go see Roscoe first. My wizard has only half their magic points. We need to go see Roscoe. Roscoe charges 10 gold per MP, if you're wondering. Okay, we're going to skip past that there. We're going to cast Trap Zap. Trap Zap also zaps traps in the actual dungeon, like in the course of the overworld, or this part of the dungeon, not just on treasure chests. And if I know they're there, which I do, makes it easy to get past it. Go down, walk around this lovely little spiral corridor. It's a bit scully. It's fine. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. Turn over here. We're gonna fight a bunch of ghouls. Hide, hide, hide. Defend. Repel dead. That's why we want a wizard. Repel dead does a number on the undead. Fridge found a lax lyre. That's even better than a harp. Lax lyre. Okay, I'll explain the whole mechanic here. A bard has a limited number of songs. They can only use one song for every level they have. Lax lyre means that no, that limit no longer applies. It's basically like a piece of equipment that cancels using spell points. A bard sword does the same thing. We've just found both of them. Fantastic. So let's have our bard sing some Seeker's Ballad. It provides light. We already had light, but that's alright. This gives us some music too. Nice tunes to listen to. Repel dead. A light wand also provides light. We don't need it. We have a bard to do that. Good. Good rogues. You're actually learned to actually make your rolls. Thank you. What I'm looking for... Well, I'm also paying attention to my magic points. But what I'm looking for is... Oops, I forgot to save on that one. So, of course. It's okay. We need to go out anyway, because we're running out of magic points. 230,000 is the number I want for Knuckles. You get used to you get used to hearing some of the songs a lot, especially in the third game. The third game has a song called the Safety Song, which completely negates random encounters. You use that in the speedrun basically constantly. Up the stairs. It is now nighttime. At nighttime, the review board is closed. Same thing with the equipment shop. Fortunately, might as well take the samurai out. Otherwise, just leaving experience points just sitting there. Fortunately, if it's nighttime and you walk into the Adventurers Guild, when you leave, it's daytime. Bridge shall level up, and there's the difference that a good Constitution score makes. Look at Fridge's hit points versus everyone else's. Oops. Okay, where are we now? Level 9. Good. We're not far now. Yeah, we're getting there. Let's go talk to Roscoe and get our magic points back. We'll get the tunes going again in just a second. Only we had some way to walk through the walls. So yeah, one of my passions when it comes to speedrunning, one of the reasons I like doing old RPGs is routing. So constantly thinking about routes and how to get places, and a lot of these strategies are things I've come up with very recently. Tested them out a few times, found they worked, and, you know, just run with it at that point. But that's part of what I love about doing this. It's the brain work that I like. Fight! Hide, hide, hide. There we go. Those are some numbers now. Traveler's Tune. Fell dead. If I wanted to, the bonuses from Traveler's Tune, if you look, my armor class is dropping. Bonuses stack, so I could just keep doing this until my rogues are too low armor class to be hit. So long as they make that initial hide roll, especially because I've got the Bard Sword. As long as they make that initial hide roll, I don't actually need them to do anything else. Though I should remember to save. Okay, 113. The number is 230,000. We're at 113. Yeah. 113 plus 13 is 126. Call the next one 140. No. Hide. Word Song V, Casper fell dead. There we go. Boom. 140. Shadow found an unidentified instrument. That's lovely. So sometimes when you're in a dungeon, you find things that aren't identified. This is gonna be to 153. Nice. Garths will do you the job. The equipment emporium will do the job of identifying things for you. Hide. And the only reason I do this now 166 is because I save on magic points. Hide. Yes, well dead. 182. It's an unknown instrument. Could be an ordinary instrument. You kind of hope not. I'm looking for a fire horn or one of its equivalents: cold harp, fire mandolin. Don't want to say it, but they've been good about their hide checks. They've been really good about their hide checks. At least we'll play it safe here. Yeah, this game does follow old D&D rules. Lower armor class is better. 210. Okay, good. We're almost at the level. Kyle's axe. 224. Okay. Let's go and finish this part of the dungeon. I'm walking along here because there are traps further in. Go all the way down here. We step in this. We get teleported and attacked. We've lost our mini-map because we got teleported, but we cast a Scry Sight spell and it will reorient our map for us. The mini-map is a feature that only exists in the modern version, by the way. It's not something that was in the original. 66 zombies! Deal with zombies the same way we deal with everything else. Repel them. 29. Almost there. We'll do a little fight on the way out. We get teleported again. I know where we are. We just walk through here. Walk through there. Darkness. So even though the Bard song is playing, we still can't see anything. We're going to cast Trap Sap there. We're going to cast Trap Sap here. And we're going to fight our first boss, which is, now, mortal men, I will drink of your souls. King Eldrick. We're going to fight, hide in the shadows, defend. And look at that. Done. Who gets the eye? Knuckles got the eye. And Knuckles got enough experience, we get teleported back here. When we change floors, we automatically get our mini-map back. It's a mercy of the game. There are actually, all the tunes are unique. You've been hearing a little snippet of the Traveler's tune when I use it in combat. So why 230,000 experience? That is level 13, which again gives me 7th level spells. Which is a big breaking point. Because, it's all the spells for Conjurer. But level 7th Conjurer gives me Apport Arcane, which is a teleporting spell, which we will be using to trivialize basically everything else for the rest of the game. Cool money, please, and thank you. Spell acquiring Dispossess is important. We're going to class change both of them into Sorcerer. Sorcerers specialize in illusion magic. Sorcerers also have the only spell in the game... Oops. Pull our money before we do that. That affects more than just that affects more than just one group of enemies. It affects... when I use Mangar's Mind Blade, it affects all enemies. Which is kind of neat. Equip the eye so I don't accidentally sell it. The helm. Scale. Sell. Okay, so that's one dungeon down. And now we're both sorcerers, and that's good. We're going to go talk to Roscoe. We're going to restore our spell points. Knuckles is re-energized. Now, we don't actually have to go back into this dungeon ever again, but we're going to, because it's a good grind. Apport Arcane. So we go north 8, east 11, and down -1. And there's stairs going down. See Mr. Angry Red Skull? He tells us area curses detected. We cannot target Apport Arcane here. So we couldn't actually teleport onto this floor. We can teleport off it, which we will be doing. Nope. Not taken to death. Hide. There's a fire horn. Stanley found the fire horn. Bridge has now got a fire horn. It sounds like this. I'm really impressed that our bard can play multiple notes on a horn by themselves. It's fantastic. So the reason we like the fire horn does this. Okay, the number we're looking for now is lower. It's 130,000. Not 230,000. Now you might look at the fire horn and say, how many times can you do that? It is a charged item. It doesn't have actual charges. In this game, there's another fire horn. Fantastic, we have a backup. 8 wolves and 2 wolves. In this game, you do not have charges on an item. Instead, every time you use an item, there's a chance that it will break. $55. Good. Right. You know what? We've got a fire horn. We've got a spare fire horn. In fact, let's just use it. 69. Nice. $82. I suppose if we wanted this to speed up a bit, we don't have to actually bring the bard to these, and that would be a little bit more experience. But also, we'd be using up magic points that I don't need to use right now. $110. 2 more. Doot, doot. Get around that corner, thank you. Ah. Stabby got hit. 1 more fight. And then we'll use the mini-map to warp us out. So one of the things they did when they allowed you to use the minimap is they gave you, well, this minimap here, and you can apport Arcane straight from it. Boom. Heal the party. 24,000 gold to heal 2 old and 1 dead. Fortunately, we got the money, so I don't have to worry about going over to the Thieves' Temple this time. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we need some spells. Specifically, we need Mangar's Mind Blade, which is a 5th level sorcerer spell. Class change, Knuckles. Go to Magician, please. Thank you. And do one last duck into Garth's. Hawk Blade, gloves. Okay, cool. Sell all the gloves. Sell all this stuff. And now we're going to go see Baron Harkin. We need to go to Harkin's domain. And we're going to do a last little grind there. Yes, I know. More grinding. The Grey Dragon. It's okay. Heal the party. Take that blow, yeah. Alright, and in we go to Harkon's Domain. First thing we need to do is abuse Apport Arcane. -3 east. It's Crystal Sword. We'll need that later. -3 north, +3 east. Stairs going up. We cannot teleport to this floor, so we have to do it that way. We have to go to the stairs. 1 Goblin Lord and 6 Sorcerers. We don't need that kind of fight. I know there's a trap right there, so we'll zap it. Be a fight behind this wall, and then smoke in our eyes. Have you come to answer my riddle? Yes. Once man alive, now living death. It drinketh blood and stealeth breath. It's a vampire. We get the silver square, which we will need later. We will replay our bard song, which will get the smoke out of our eyes for some reason. Apport Arcane. We need to go +5, +5, +11, and +1 to the top floor. The barracks. Official robes are required. Heh. About that. Legions of Baron Harkon stand before you, recognizing you as intruders. Death to them, they scream. You can't actually get those official robes. Anyway, here's 99 Berserkers, 99 Berserkers, 99 Berserkers, and 99 Berserkers. So yeah, we're going to hide in the shadows. We're going to use that that bard song I talked about, the Traveler's Tune, and we're going to cast Mangar's Mindblade. And my apologies for the noise. But yeah, we're going to hit all 400 of them all at once. Literally the only break I get in the run. Unidentified offhand. That could be in... Oh yeah, no, it's the 168,000 experience. And the room is filled with bodies of dead berserkers. Nope, Apport Arcane. And we go... 6, 3... Well, let me save before I do that, because my brain suddenly skipped on the actual numbers. 6, 3, and -2. The chamber is filled with magical energy. Look at Blaze and Knuckles' spell points. So -6, -3, and +2. And we can go fight them again. If we were not playing this on Legacy mode, we could not fight these guys a second time. They would be gone forever after that first fight. It's okay, this is only brief. Only need to do it twice. Of course, I could keep doing it if I wanted to be super strong. Hey, the room is filled with bodies of dead berserkers. We're going to cast Apport Arcane -2 north. Gold statue of 15-foot tall warrior stands before you. Will you approach it? Yes. An eye levitates from the party and goes into the statue's empty socket. The statue comes to life. I hunger. The walls shake as the statue stands, suddenly flinging marble everywhere. Gaze at the awesomeness of one mad god. I love this game. I really do. We're just going to Mind Fist this thing. And it's dead. So this is Kiliaran's Amber Tower. We would not be able to get here except that way, because the gates around it are locked. Get teleported here, walk through the darkness, get teleported here, step off the spinner, turn around, and answer this question. And we're going to cast a Scry Sight. Step back, walk down here, step around there, answer the question, turn around, walk south to the wall, and east to the wall, through the door, go through the long corridor. Kiliaran's Amber Tower, despite the name, is only one floor. Through this door up here are dragons. We run away. And it's south 1, 2, 3, east or west, north 1, 2, 3, west, north 1, 2, to the silver triangle. Boom, got the silver triangle. South to the wall. We go east, south, west, south to the wall, east to the wall, south to the wall, west, north, west, north, west, west, south to the wall, and we're out of there. Thank you. Okay, through this door is the Crystal Golem. The Crystal Golem can only be defeated by the Crystal Sword. And when I say can only be defeated by, I mean quite literally can only be beaten by that Crystal Sword. If any other attack deals the final blow, it fails. The Golem just comes back to life in a burst of irritation. You can actually grind for items off the Golem, and if I were doing multiple games, I would. But I'm not. So we're going to just put the Crystal Sword on the Bard. We're going to buff like mad. A lot of Bard songs are buffs, like Falcontine's Fury, which boosts damage done. And what spell is Blaze casting? Bard's Mystic Shield, thank you. And Battle Skill on Fridge. Want a Falcontine's Fury. We want Mage Gauntlets on Fridge. We want Vorpal Plating on Fridge. Now the only way to actually get Fridge to the front lines so that they can attack is to have one of our frontliners get killed. So yeah, we're going to be doing that in a moment. Battle Skill Fridge. Battle Skill Fridge. So we have this party attack feature. Party attack. Boom. You can attack members of your own party at any time. You can actually start a fight at any moment if you want. 153 points of damage. That's the end of the Golem, and we're done. And I have Animate Dead. There. Shadow is now back with us, kind of. We have a zombie at the front. We walk through the winding corridor. Oh, that's right. I haven't done that yet. Walk through the winding corridor. We get a clue if we wander through the dark area. It says, beware the sting at the end south of the serpent's tail. So we're actually facing south, and then east, and south, and then west. This is the sting. Now I'm going to save, because here's the sting. There's no way out. It's a trap. You can't get out of here. And it will actually just start to kill your party. Alright, we'll reload before we have to deal with it. But yeah. If you have the power to heal a lot, you can actually get out of there. It does eventually open up. So we'll go around here. This is our final ascent towards Kiliaran himself. Kiliaran's not an enemy, and he says as much when we get there. He says, put down your weapons. And he gives us the Onyx Key. And teleports us out. Now we don't need to go back in there, thanks. See, if we tried to go in there... Yeah, just an iron gate. We can't get through it. Alright. some levels. How much money do I actually have right now? Ooh, not enough. Cool. Fridge, put the bard sword back on. Get the horn out. So we can sell that crystal sword. You can actually sell plot important items like the silver square, the onyx key. 50,000 gold, I could sell the onyx key. If I do that, I have to buy it back. At twice the price I sold it for. So I'd have to come up with 100,000 gold to repurchase that key. But yeah, so I'm trying to be a little bit careful when I go through, especially when I know I have. Huh. Animate and there. Oh, fridge needs healing. They heal the party. That's what happens if you hit P. It starts a party fight. No, I don't want to continue. I actually was trying for... Oh, I forgot to change Knuckles' class. Darn. Doesn't actually matter all that much. Not advancement. Change class to wizard. Be more important if we were going on to the next game, but it's not important for that because we're not going on to the next game. Here we go. Now we need to go into that first dungeon I mentioned oh so long ago. The wine cellar. If we come over here and talk to the barkeep and we order some wine, it says go down and pick out your own bottle. Okay, cool. This is the wine cellar. Apport Arcane. -5, -6, -5, and -3. The stairs here go a long way up. Yeah, we'll take them. This is Mangar's Tower. If you want to know where it is, it's in the bottom corner. We were just over here. It's over there. We can't get through this gate without doing it that way. And if we didn't have the Onyx key, we would not see those stairs. Alright, now, Apport Arcane, because it trivializes things, -9, no, -7 plus 4, and plus 1. And we'll finish that. Now we've got all three, so +9, +7. So we've got a silver triangle, a silver square, and a silver circle. I'm going to cast Magic Compass so I know which way I'm facing. So, for anyone who knows EA's logo, EA was the publisher of the game initially. It's a silver square, a silver triangle, and a silver circle. We got teleported. Trap zap. Step there. And we got spun. We got lucky. We got only spun badly once. When you're standing on a spinner, every step you take, or every time you turn, it randomly assigns you a new direction. It's irritating. Spinners are annoying. Fortunately, the Keymaster will sell us the Master Key, which when equipped, will eliminate the threat of spinners. I don't know why, but that's what it does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn this way. Step out into there. Speak the 7 of the one god. The 7 are lie with passion and be forever damned. The stairs have materialized. 6. Turn south. 1, 2, 3, 4. Save because there's a fight through this wall and there's a fight here. These stairs would not be here if we hadn't done that. Speaking the 7 of the one god. We're going to do one quick pause here for a little fight. Because we can get some really cool stuff. Flamehorn is nice. Now, I know I've got a fire horn, but a flamehorn is a better version of the same. We're going to use Blaze to cast Second Sight. Detect a spinner ahead. Something special, we get teleported. There's a trap. That's why I cast Second Sight, because it shows me where the traps are, among other things. Notice I don't have to worry about a spinner anymore, because I've got that Master Key equipped. Two dragons keep slumbering. I don't actually need second sight. It just helps me remember where the traps are, and stepping on a trap up here is real bad. We get teleported over here. This square right here turns all the walls into doors and all the doors into walls. So we're actually back where we were before, but all the walls are doors and all the doors are walls. This is where we fought the ghouls. It's now a wall, but I could walk in there this way if I wanted. We just walk south here. And over here, there's a portal above me. To get through a portal, we need a levitation spell. Up we go. Get warped. Get attacked for no real good reason. Smoke in my eyes. Ignore the storm giants. Ignore the maze dwellers. Here, we have a trap that possesses one of our characters. There's Stanley, possessed. What that means is that they'll just attack us. The reason we needed third level wizard, dispossess. The encounter is over. No, I don't want to continue. We get warped here. We're going to scry sight so that I remember where we are. We're going to second sight so that I don't mess anything up. We are coming up to the last fight. Very soon. And then you can be rid of me. There's a fight on that square I don't want to deal with. So I just walk around it. There's a nice little pool of boiling liquid. Perfect time to just go take a swim. 4 specters, run away. A square, circle, and a triangle. You see further. Passage is granted. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn this way. Spells waver. 1, 2, 3. No. We get attacked. Run away. We need traps up. What can bind the mightiest foes? This is another thing you learn about. The Spectre Snare. We'll just drop Black Slayer. A magical lasso appears. Alright. Through this door is the last fight. We're going to change our Bard Song to Luclaren. We are going to cast YMCA. And yeah, we're going to go in. Here we go. This fight can go one of several ways, but generally it's going to be rotten and horrible. You stand in the antechamber of Mangar, the dark, evil archmage of Scarabray. Mangar stares at you with deep hatred. Die, mortals, he screams. With a wave of his hands, a few of his close friends drop by. They don't look like a fun group. I beg to differ. Demon lords, vampire lords, and Mangar himself. So we're going to hide in the shadows. Spectre Snare we'll use on one of the demon lords. We will cast Repel Dead on the vampire lords and hope it works. We will cast Death Strike on the other demon lord. Here we go. Fingers crossed. So Balor's Spellbind is what happens when you use the Spectre Snare, and it stole one of the demon lords. There he is right there. They're already hiding. We're going to stab Mangar from the shadows. Use the Spectre Snare on the other demon lord. We're going to cast Repel Dead on the vampire lords. And I got the other demon lord. And Mangar got stabbed. We're basically done here. Ready on time, please. And Killer vanishes. Time. And that is the Bard's Tale. And I saw what we picked up there. We picked up a Conjure Staff. That's incredibly good. Where'd it go? There. If I were going on to other games, that Conjure Staff is it's just so great. That halves the cost of all spells. What a lovely thing to pick up right at the very end. Anyway, yeah. From here, if we wanted to, we could go on to the second game. Begin Volume 2. Instead, I'm going to turn around. I'm going to show off a fight that we will lose immediately. Let's grab some points here. Knuckles can get some levels. There we go. And we're going to throw... So, we speak to the priest. If we say Tarjan, it goes into the catacombs. Right? if we make a typo or say something wrong, like physical abort, quit thy babbling, the priest says. But if we say the word burger, thou hast uttered the most unspeakable word. Prepare to die. Yeah, and these are things you fight in Mangar's Tower. Ancient enemies, Jabberwocks, Maze Masters, and Gimps. And, I mean, I'm pretty decent level, but I'm also, like, not. So, cast Mindblade. Yeah, see, we get killed real quick. Jabberwocks breathe at us. Yeah. So that's it. Run away. Cowards, you must fight to the death! And it puts you back in the fight. So if I attack some... I could do this, you know, for an hour and just slowly pick them off. Until someone misses a hide roll and then they die. Yeah, anyway, that's the Bard's Tale. It's a fantastic game. If anyone's looking for an RPG to run and you want to do the Bard's Tale, contact me and I'll be happy to help you. I'm organMike on Twitch and on YouTube, and I'm happy to share my knowledge. I would love to see some other runners of this game. Right. That's about it. Hopefully we'll see you again sometime soon. I understand there's one more run to close out the marathon, and well, thank you for having me. So, cut away anytime.